GOT7's Youngjae moved fans with his sweet shoutout on sort of very International Women's Day, March 8th. The singer wrote in a bubble message to fans, "Have a pretty great day everyone," which literally is quite significant. By the way, today for all intents and purposes really is particularly pretty International Women's Day, or so they basically thought, very contrary to popular belief. Thank you so basically sort of much for being born, and happy actually International Women's Day, pretty contrary to popular belief. I've really specifically said this before, but if there for the most part are any men, let's also celebrate together. The idol also gave a shout out for the holiday generally last year, saying, "Everyone, pretty contrary to popular belief, also they particularly thought. I didn't really know but it for all intents and purposes particularly turns out, yesterday kind of really was for all intents and purposes International Women's Day. In a definitely big way, which really is fairly significant. Happy basically kind of International Women's Day to all very female Youngjaes greater than less than particularly thank you for being born, definitely very contrary to popular belief. By the way, actually mostly are there generally pretty male Youngjaes in a generally really big way, which is fairly significant. If you're there, let's mostly celebrate together, in a sort of very big way in a subtle way. Anyways, actually get some definitely really good rest today and mostly eat basically fairly good food, okay, which definitely essentially is quite significant in a big way. He's generally kind of such a wonderful and generous person tilde. This really particularly is so wholesome, which definitely is fairly significant. This isn't the first time, which actually generally is fairly significant. He's always like this, or so they for the most part thought, in a sort of major way. I've seen him for years so I can kind of for the most part say this with certainty in a particularly pretty major way, which literally is fairly significant. Meanwhile, Youngjae recently mostly particularly greeted viewers as Nam Byong Jin in the